What's going on with Ellen Historian right now with Mushoku Tensei? Bro has been in the front lines fighting the gray rats online, and you know what? Another creator that I'm very fond of has gotten involved, and I just want to know what's going on. So Ellen Historian has a tweet about Mushoku Tensei. So here, right here. Real fans also would say that the series didn't go far enough. Oh, this is going off of that video Ellen Historian made about like people memeing about pedophilia, which is not really funny, but they're like, nah, like we can go further. There's like a bad faith actor Mushoku Tensei person embracing the Diddy shit and saying now we can go further, and I think this is an extension of it. Real fans would say the series didn't go far enough. Sadly, Aisha and Norn were completely skipped over by Rudius. It was so close to being a true masterpiece. So this person, the Holy Kettle War, which I think is just bait. There's no way this is a genuine tweet. There's no way this is a real person. This is a wolf in sheep's clothing trying to make MT look worse than it actually is. There's no way, right? There's no way, right? So true. I'm mad. He said he wasn't interested in Norn and Aisha. And looking at that tweet, I think the obvious reaction is, ew? What the fuck? You're trolling, right? Mushoku Tensei fans are never beating the allegations. Now they're upset that Rudius didn't get with his two younger sisters. So, at this point, do you think Ellen Historian is getting baited by a bad faith actor memeing around Mushoku Tensei? Or are these real people and Ellen Historian is calling them out for righteous reasons? I don't know. Who could be mad about this? That side of anime community found this post. Oh brother, not this Chisei dude. Is he a known weirdo or something? You can say that. I am unironically a fascist. I see. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that this is pretty apparent. We don't need to say more, right? Either a genuine retard or an actual like just like a fake retard. Regardless, you're being a retard anyways. So this person then quote retweets. Mushoku Tensei fans have the same issue as Monogatari fans, or worse. What is the same issue? People being weirded out by the nature of fictional minors getting sexually harassed or assaulted and playing it off as a joke, and people then saying based. No, I don't want to hear that Hachikuji is like older than Araragi. That's a body of a toddler. Come on now. Don't do mental gymnastics. And I think it's a very normal reaction. No matter how fictional it is, I understand it's not real. You can still be like, that's weird, you know? Like, I'm not gonna call you a pedophile for watching these shows, but like the way that you glorify these elements, even though you could just leave it alone, makes me think that, yeah, you probably have something else going on. Guys like this want inclusion in the popular thing for validation, but pretend to hate it to get validation from despite being the hecky, icky parts. But what is the heckin' icky parts though? The part where we find it weird that you are like so wanting for these two little sisters, two little girls, you know, to basically get diddled by their bigger brother, and you're like wishing that it wouldn't have, like it would have happened. Like, are we for real right now? How is any reasonable real person looking at this and saying, yeah, this guy's right, Ellen Historian is a tourist, he needs to be gay kids? I can't believe he feels so weirded out by the fictional pedophilic nature of Mushoku Tensei. I can't believe it. Why isn't he just embracing it? Why isn't he jacking off to Norn and Aisha dojins like me? I'm based. What do you mean? I just don't understand this mindset unless you're trolling, right? Like, is this something to be proud of? Not really. And again, if you want to indulge in lolicon stuff, go for it. You're not gonna be like going to jail for it. I don't think you're like a bad person per se for it. It's weird, but it's fiction, and as long as you're not harming anybody, go for it. But then there's like a layer beyond that where you go overtly just indulgent and glorify these elements to a point where I'm thinking like, are you a retard? Like, do you think that you have any actual like argument to be made from this? And what did they say? I despise posers. He doesn't even bother turning off monetization, getting rid of the blue check for half a year. You know, do it for the love of the game, the way I've been doing it. All right, your income depends on pretending to be an OG. That's what you really care about. So this is the crazy thing. You are an OG if you are a fictional pedophile enjoyer. You know what I mean? This is the craziest thing. And I think that root sentiment and the logic that at the core boils down to anime from the beginning has always been about fighting against censorship and being able to be weird and you know, create art from that weirdness. But that weirdness doesn't have to be bound by like sexualizing 13-year-old girls, no matter how fictional they are. I think that you can be an OG, you can be an anime enjoyer, you can be not a poser without enjoying these things. It's like, so it's just like so funny when they self-report themselves by condemning Ellen Astorian for being weirded out by people who wants to fucking diddle their little sisters, and suddenly you speak out against that, and then now you are the tourist. Because tourism is when you are against fictional pedophilia. Well, here's the thing, but it's fiction though, it's not real. What's the big deal? You're injecting your real world politics and you're making me uncomfortable about liking fictional minor characters in anime. What's wrong with you? You're a poser. You're not an OG. The more I think and put the perspective of these people in my mindset, the more insane I sound, does it not? He either isn't able to understand the irony, sarcasm in your reply, or he's purposely ignoring it to keep his agenda going. So is this irony or sarcasm? But here's the thing. When you're being ironic or sarcastic, when you're pretending to be a retard, when you are going out and saying this shit, don't be surprised when people find it weird. Like, I understand that you might be just rage baiting. You might not even believe in any of this shit, but when other people view your statements in good faith and they get weirded out by it, that's the natural reaction. So again, you can't just say, I'm just pretending to be retarded, and then get mad when people call you a fucking retard. I watched Mushoku Tensei as a horny 14-year-old in 2022, and I fucking hated Rudy's weird ass. Fuck this 13-year-old cousin, a grown-ass man, shit made me so sick. I lost my love for all the ecchi series I used to binge. My first anime was To Love Ru, for fuck's sake. Oh, okay, sure, thank you for your your experience. Oh, something far worse happened to Aisha. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And we're kind of here at this point, right? Then we have Espiritu coming in. And I'm an Espiritu and Ellen Astorian enjoyer. That's why it puts me in conflict. I wish that the creators that I enjoy wouldn't fucking fight amongst themselves all the fucking time, but that's the issue when you're fucking farming every creator, right? Again, anyone with a half a brain cell knows L Historian. L Historian. Not Ellen Historian. He's not light novel historian here. He's light historian. He's L Historian. Ooh, the branding, the nicknames, goddamn. Has not read Mushoku Tensei and just uses a claim as a shield for the fact that he grits from it. Has he really not read Mushoku Tensei? I don't know. I've seen his videos, very short clips, talking about Mushoku Tensei and praising the show for what it is, but it's kind of crazy. Guy will one say claim how it is an amazing light novel and anime, and then the next day flip the script and claim he never said the latter. Well, no. What I've heard from him is he loves Mushoku Tensei. It's an expansive world and a beautiful isekai, well-written show, but the main character is problematic. And that is the intention. The author literally made Rudy as problematic to show what kind of adventure is gonna happen, what kind of journey will happen in the story and development when you have this fucking loser put into a different world with second chances. And Ellen Historian says, I find a main character uncomfortable, but then the other shit, like, it's a beautiful series. I think he's been pretty consistent with that. Maybe there's some other clips and shorts that I'm not aware of, but that's just all I know. Then he needs Kaka. Ooh, that's me. He needs Kaka to let him on his streams, so he can goalpost move for the 100th time. This was not about Mushoku Tensei at all. This one was about politics and anime. The anime men tourism drama into the anime man responding, into Ellen Historian responding, talking about the Christopher Columbus colonizer joke about the tourists and how it's not that deep. Yes. And then he came on stream and I said, explain yourself. How do you not, condemn the anime man, Joey? you know, if when you're making these statements about him, you're basically assuming you're glorifying colonization, but that's not what the intent of the message was. And then we talked about it, and I think that he did move his goalpost. But moving a goalpost is basically admitting that you were wrong and that these assumptions were wrong, and he didn't mean that. I think that moving the goalpost obviously is as a phrase that makes it seem like you are basically changing from your original perspective. You're a liar, you're backing down. But at the end of the day, moving the goalpost pretty much is like, it's kind of halfway there to apologizing, right? It's just like you're admitting your mistake. My bad. I didn't mean that. What I really meant was this, and we shifted that and we got it sorted. Also, anyone with a hard working brain cell can tell Chisei and others are trolling because El Historian has zero reading skills. And listen. When I look at this shit, first thing I said was you have to be trolling because there's no way this word could be real. But again, when you're online, you can't just not only is it just like when your people are saying shit with their voice in person, it's a lot easier to detect sarcasm, irony. When you're online, everything is anonymous. They're just texts. And crazy people like this actually do exist. We've seen them. We've made videos about them. How could you possibly tell that this is a real person? There's no guarantee. It's a likely. I don't believe in the shit he says, right? But the more that you look at like these profiles and the shit that they share, at what point do you say, yeah, he just ironically using the N-word, you know, yeah, he just, you know, spreading all these different posts because he just memeing about it. He doesn't mean any of that. So that's like a very cheap way of basically hiding your intentions. I'm just trolling. And you know what? Fine. You're just trolling. You're just being a retard. But again, when you like pretend to be a retard, you can't be surprised when other people treat you like a retard. That's what happens online. I know funny, right? For a guy that fakes reading light novels. Again, I don't know any of these claims if these are true or not. Can't tell what satire is. Ooh, and yes, I got pinned here. Sorry, I got pinged here. He also doesn't respond to the comments under his ReZero light novel post when you point out some mistakes. Well, I think it's ridiculous to assume that a content creator is going to be responding to every single comment. Right? So these like things again can be true, but it doesn't like necessarily mean anything. Most light novel readers hate an adaptation, blah blah blah. Like I'm pretty sure he has, you know, defended the Hassan beating the dog stuff, and that's why he got blocked by Chibi. Anyways, this is some dumbass bullshit happening. Let me know what the fuck is going on if you're aware of what's going on, and I hope that Ellen Historian actually makes a statement or like basically escalates the drama so I can make another video. Final overall take: these tweets are obviously disgusting, but they're probably trolling. But even if you're trolling, don't be surprised when people take it for granted and like basically call you a retard. And when you're pretending to be a retard for the sake of engagement online and you get called a retard, like that's the game you're playing. Like don't act surprised.